This recording will show us how to make a box plot, and what we'll do is we'll enter the data first and make a 5-number summary. That'll get us going with the actual values, and then we'll look at the stat plot option to make our plot. So let's first enter the data into our calculators. So let's go to stat, and we're going to choose number 1 for edit. And then we have a list. If your list is not cleared, I would probably arrow up to L1 and then hit clear and then hit enter, and I have a clear list. So now I want to input my data, and let's see if I can input it quickly. 6. So I have 24 pieces of data. I can tell by looking at my list. If I have my cursor on the last piece of data, I see L1 parentheses 24. And then if I go one past that, it's blank. L1 parentheses 25, there's nothing there. So I have 24 pieces of data. All right. Now I'm going to clear this whole thing again. And I'm going to go back to the home screen, second function, and quit. So I think one of my keys is to make sure I go back to the home screen again to have a clear palette. So first I'm going to find my 5-number summary. The 5-number summary includes the minimum, the Q1, the median, the Q3, and then the maximum. So I hit stat, I go to calc, and I'm going to do a 1var stats. So right arrow to calc and then 1var stats, so I can either press enter or the number 1. And then I want to do 1var stats on L1, so L1 is the second function and the number 1. And then I'll hit enter. It's going to show me my statistics like the mean and the standard deviation, but I'm more interested in the next page, so I would arrow down to the next page, and then I have my 5-number summary. The min, the Q1, the median, the Q3, and then the max. So you should have been able to do this by hand since it's put in a nice order, and then you can regroup and find the median for the very big group. And then once you found the median, you cut it in half and you find the median for the first group and then the second group, and we should get the same answers. All right, so from here you can actually construct your box plot by hand, but let's have the calculator do the box plot for us. So for that, I'm going to go to second function and stat plot. And if all your plots are off, then that's great. If not, if plot 1 is on, then just leave it on. If plot 2 or 3 are on, then you want to hit the number 4 to clear it. So I'm just going to go through that. Plots off, and then press enter. And then that would just turn off all the statistical plots that you might have been using. So I'm going to go back to second function and y equals to. And then I'm going to hit number 1 for plot number 1. So the first thing I want to do is turn this one on. So while it's blinking on the on button, I'll hit enter. So that turns on. I'm going to arrow down to the type. And the type that I want to select is the box plot. Now there's 2 plots that look like a box. We want the one with a line in the middle. That includes the median in the middle, and that's what we want. Your X list is L1. and then your frequency, if you have that as an option, is 1. Okay? So now, this is where I'm going to jump back to the home screen. I'm going to jump back to the home screen by hitting second function and mode. So now I'm going to go to zoom, and I'm going to look for zoom stat. And zoom stat is usually number 9 in these calculators. So I can hit enter from here once I have 9 highlighted, or I can hit number 9 if you know that from your calculator. It's going to give me a box plot. So you have to try to look at the interesting features. There's a longer whisker part over here than on the right side than on the left side. The area in the left box is bigger than the area in the right box, so all those little things are important. And you can actually see that happen if you draw it to scale, meaning if you make sure that your number line is appropriate for that. But another important aspect of this box plot in your calculator is when you trace, hit trace, and then make sure it says P1:L1. If it doesn't say that, you can press the up or down arrow until you find P1:L1. And once you have P1:L1, as you move your arrows left and right, you can see the 5 numbers that we've discussed a little bit earlier. The minimum is 6, Q1 is 8, the median is 14, so there's 6 spaces to get to the 14 from 8, and so you have to make sure that that gets acknowledged by drawing it to scale. You can find the Q3 at 17.5, and then you can find the maximum at 22. Okay? So that's how you would find the box plot.